making it easier to do business through the electronic registration form.
Once you have done that, once the application is approved, then you are not only registered with the company's office, but you're also registered with the Tax Administration Jamaica. So you get a TRN, Taxpayer Registration Number. You're registered with the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, so you get an NIS number.
And there's also the Jamaica Electronic Single Window for Trade Portal.
An electronic single window is expected to bring simplification, harmonization, and facilitation on international trade transactions.
Plus, a call by the Jamaica Association of the Deaf for parents to enroll children who are deaf or hard of hearing in one of their 7 schools island-wide. Hello, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Welcome to Jamaica Magazine.
Hurricanes can strike at any time. In the event of one, be prepared to act quickly. If a hurricane watch or warning has been issued, review your home disaster response plan. Map out likely routes to evacuate if your home is at risk and confirm with relatives or friends you plan to stay with. Also, confirm the location of the nearest shelter. Check your emergency supplies and restock if necessary. Remember, disasters do happen, so be prepared.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, August 29. For the first time, Jamaica will have the capacity to analyze the sugar, salt, and fat content of food products at one facility. Labs at the Bureau of Standard Jamaica, BSJ, and the Scientific Research Council, SRC, have been upgraded to conduct these tests. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, says the upgraded labs will provide baseline information on the concentrations of sugar, salt, and fat in food products, which are major contributors to the development of obesity, hypertension, and diabetes.
For the population, it means that we will be in a position, based on this work, to give you better particulars, better information around the things that you put in your bodies, things that you consume, and you have a right to know.
He says the data received from these labs will also help government to establish evidence-based national guidelines, standards, and regulations for these ingredients. The upgrades to the BSJ and SRC labs, which cost $20 million, were financed by the International Development Research Centre, IDRC, of Canada. It is part of a 4-year, $4 million Canadian project entitled Improving Household Nutrition Security and Public Health in CARICOM. The BSJ, SRC, and University of Technology, UTech, signed a memorandum of agreement on Tuesday to formalize the collaboration and its next steps. Section H of the Norwood Water Supply Improvement Project was commissioned into service recently, much to the delight of residents in the St. James community. The upgrading work was done by the National Water Commission, NWC.
I feel very good about it. It's been a very long time that we are without water, and we are very grateful for the work that is done here that we can get it.
Deputy Chairman of the NWC, Stephen Fong Yi, says the organization is committed to improving service delivery despite varying challenges impacting the entity's systems.
The Norwood Section H Water Supply Improvement Project forms part of the strategic imperative to extend access to water and improve the company's infrastructure, not just here in St. James, but across the island.
Meanwhile, Portland and St. Thomas communities are set to benefit from upgrades to their water supply systems. Those upgradings will accompany roadworks to start next month under the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project. At Tuesday's contract signing, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Darrell Vaz, said funds had been allocated to improve road and water infrastructure simultaneously.
It means that where there is water, but it's not in the pipes will be run to facilitate the water getting to the communities and the households. And most importantly, where there is no water, provisions will be made to be able to pipe water to communities off of the main thoroughfare that are not getting water at this time.
Funding has been secured for the introduction of a new twinning concept in 35 high schools this year. Under the program, students from low-performing schools will be twinned with their peers at high-performing institutions. Minister with oversight of the education portfolio, Carl Samuda, says this strategy seeks to improve students' general performance and promote inclusiveness across the sector. One of the first set of schools to be twinned will be Haile Selassie and Arden High.
These students would get an opportunity to share in the experiences of a very highly successful school and be able to take back to Haile Selassie those attitudes that are constructive. We'll be able to give them a sense of enthusiasm, renewed enthusiasm. And that is why the twinning idea is one that has to be embraced.
Minister Samuda was speaking recently on the final day of the Jamaica Teachers Association's 55th Annual General Conference held at the Hilton Rose Hall Resort and Spa in St. James. It is expected that the success of the twinning exercise at Arden and Haile Selassie will provide a template for the concept to be replicated across the island. Students of Comfort Castle Primary and Junior High School in Portland are the beneficiaries of a $343,350 donation from Canadian charity, the Tamara Gordon Foundation. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, presented the check on behalf of the foundation to the school's principal, Dalmain Moore, on Tuesday.
I think it's another example of how our diaspora reaches out to make real change and directly, positively impact the lives of Jamaicans.
Comfort Castle's principal says the funds will be used to expand the school's literacy and numeracy program and purchase a commercial printer and desktop computer, among other things. And finally, a national Centenary church service will be held this Sunday, September 1, in celebration of the 100th anniversary of the birth of Jamaican cultural icon Louise Bennett Coverley. The service is part of 100 days of special activities announced by Culture Minister Olivia Grange to celebrate the centenary of Miss Lou. The events are being organized by various agencies, including the National Library of Jamaica, Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, and the Bureau of Gender Affairs. This Sunday's service will be held at the Coke Memorial Methodist Church at East Parade in Kingston, starting at 9:30 a.m. Members of the Political Directorate and other dignitaries are expected to be in attendance, as well as other national, civic, and community leaders. Louise Bennett Coverley, Miss Lou, was born on September 7, 1919. She is hailed by many as one of Jamaica's leading comedians who, through her poems in Jamaican patois, raised the dialect of the country to be acceptable and appreciated by all. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Are you a small to medium-sized tourism enterprise? Borrow up to $25 million at an interest rate of 5%. You can use the funding to develop and maintain your infrastructure, upgrade or increase your capacity, enhance and expand your attraction, tour or event, and purchase raw material. Call the Exim Bank and ask about the Tourism SMTE loan. Their numbers are 876-630-1400 or 876-618-5889. Tap into the over $3 billion earned yearly through tourism with a SMTE loan.
The electronic business registration form was recently launched. This online form is a more efficient way of getting your business started and offers a one-stop shop service with the company's Office of Jamaica. Let's learn more about this web-based Super 4.
Transformation is about creating a public sector that can adapt to a radically changing environment to meet the needs of the 21st century citizen. And that's exactly what the Public Sector Transformation and Modernization Program, PSTMP, has been doing right here in Jamaica.
Public Sector Transformation and Modernization Program is a government-wide initiative managed by the Office of the Cabinet. The program encompasses projects which build the capacity of workers and provide support and direction to ministries, departments, and agencies to enable them to deliver the highest quality of services to people who do business with the government of Jamaica.
One service being transformed is the registration of businesses at the Companies Office of Jamaica. In times past, business or company owners had to go through several tedious steps to complete this process.
The customer would come to the company's office to register a business name. Then he or she would have to go to the tax office to get an NIS number. The transaction cost, the travel cost to do that was high. The time to register a business name was high as well.
In 2008, the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries implemented a one-stop-shop program. And in 2014, the Business Registration Form, or BRF, was developed.
You complete the business registration form, more popularly known as the super form. You submit it to the company's office, and once you have done that, once the application is approved, then you are not only registered with the company's office, but you're also registered with the Tax Administration Jamaica. So you get a TRN, Taxpayer Registration Number. You're registered with the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, so you get an NIS number, and you are registered to deduct contributions on behalf of your employees for NHT and Hard Trust. So with the introduction of the super form, transaction costs were cut significantly, as well as the time to register. And it was more convenient because you just had to come to the company's office and you'd be registered with all the other business startup agencies.
The BRF has significantly reduced the amount of time to start a business from 6 to 4 days for a company and 4 to 2 days for a business name. To date, approximately 50,400 business names and 14,000 company names have been registered using the form. But it doesn't stop there. In April 2014, the Public Sector Transformation Modernization Program team started working with the COJ to develop an electronic version of the manual business registration form, the EBRF.
The electronic business registration form is just to allow persons to register their business names from anywhere in the world that they are. So they don't need to come into the company's office. They can stay whether they're at their homes or in their offices, as I said, wherever in the world they are, and register their business names. You can find the EBRF form on our website. The website is www.orcjamaica.com.
All that's needed is reliable internet access, a subscriber account with the COJ, an email address, a scanner for uploading documents, and information to register your business or company name. And for those who may not have access to a computer or internet service, the EBRF will be accessible through kiosks set up in revenue service centers across the island, as well as at the company's office in Kingston.
So the kiosks are really set up to allow persons who do not have internet access otherwise to register their business names online. And they will be using the electronic business registration form. That is just an electronic version of the super form. There are 3 kiosks that will be placed at revenue service centers in Montego Bay, in Tottenham Park, and in the Constant Spring tax offices. Those are the first set. There will be other kiosks in the future.
Once you have successfully registered your business or company name on the COJ website, you will get an update within 2 days. A notification will be sent to you via email that the COJ has completed the registration of your company or business name. The email will also include an electronic copy of the certificate of registration. You can then arrange for the registration certificate to be sent to you by courier, or you may pick up the certificate at the company's office.
The international investing community, as well as the local investing community, they look at the World Bank's Doing Business Index, in which it ranks country according to the seamlessness of doing business in order to mobilize investments. When an investor is thinking about investing, they look at that index. Now, the Companies Office plays an important role in the mobilization and creation of businesses. And one of the things that we want is to create business as efficiently as possible, because entrepreneurship is important to economic activity and the acceleration of economic growth. The Companies Office has space constraint, so they much rather people not come into the office in order to register their businesses, because it's a more efficient process. And that is why the electronic registry is so important, because we need to create more businesses in order to accelerate economic growth and to create more jobs in order to improve the quality of life of our people.
The Public Sector Transformation and Modernization Program, PSTM, will continue to increase public sector efficiency and satisfaction, making Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. The EBRF is a project of the Public Sector Transformation and Modernization Program of Government and the Companies Office of Jamaica. The project is funded by the Inter-American Development Bank under the Public Sector Efficiency Program.
For more information on the electronic business registration form, you can go online, www.orcjamaica.com. You can email us at costsupport@orcjamaica.com, or you can call us at 908-441-9223.
Register your business online, register your business
from anywhere anytime in the world.
It's easy to register your business.
Register your business at the Companies Office of Jamaica's website, orcjamaica.com. A message from the COJ at the Public Sector Transformation and Modernization Program of Government and the Inter-American Development Bank.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Up next, another electronic platform that will simplify the process of doing business in Jamaica.
Picture this. You're a busy entrepreneur working hard to grow your business. At the wharf to be cleared are the materials needed to make your products. You are required to visit several government offices and fill out multiple forms with similar information to complete this activity, spending time on the trading process that could otherwise be invested in your business. For you, this may just be a mental exercise, but for many entrepreneurs in Jamaica, it is the reality of trade. A reality that will change with the introduction of the Jamaica Electronic Single Window for Trade. An Electronic Single Window ESW is an IT platform that facilitates the efficient clearance of cargo.
An electronic single window is expected to bring simplification, harmonization, and facilitation on international trade transactions under a robust electronic environment. This will bring facilities for customs brokers, government officials to interact with a computerized systems that will have a set of business rules that will allow the traders to fulfill all regulatory requirements, submit all the required data, and be able to complete their transactions in a single and seamless system.
With that electronic single window for trade, clearly it's an electronic form, and that will be filled out one time at your convenience, online, and then behind the scene, the BRAs, the Border Regulatory Agency, will collaborate to ensure that your application is accepted.
The agencies connected to the system will be able to grant the necessary permits, licenses, and approval for the release of merchandise. When approval is given, the trader receives a notification and can then proceed to collect or send off goods. The introduction of an ESW will reduce the cost and time it takes to import and export goods, creating a more enabling environment for local entrepreneurs and foreign investors.
Where we can develop and implement a system where all the transactions can take place through a particular port or point or window in this instance, it makes doing business easier. By extension, therefore, it is expected that the interest in conducting business will be improved, will be increased, and investors will see Jamaica as an even more attractive investor destination. On the other side, it also will aid in the collection of revenue, where we can have a greater throughput of trade and of activity, which by extension generates even much more in terms of the economy.
Implementation of the ESW began in August 2018, and the timeline for completion is 36 months. Over 20 border and regulatory government agencies will connect to the platform. The entity responsible for collecting revenue from trade, the Jamaica Customs Agency, is the lead implementing agency.
The electronic single window system will be fully integrated, of course, with the Ascuda World system. They're both built on the Ascuda World platform. That information will be passed seamlessly from the electronic single window into the customs management system. And that, of course, reduces time and complexity, having a single point of contact and simplification of information. So that transparent environment, having that electronic track and trace, and of course, ensuring that persons are carrying out their functions within the agreed time frame.
The ESW is projected to reduce the number of entities a trader comes in contact with from as much as 5 to 1. In the future, this is how a trader could be making arrangements for the clearance of goods. The Jamaica Electronic Single Window, facilitating efficiency in trade, contributing to a robust business environment, a part of the framework for making it easier to do business with Jamaica.
With the new school term starting in just a few days, the Jamaica Association of the Deaf is urging parents to enroll children who are deaf or hard of hearing in one of their 7 schools island-wide. The schools are tailored to cater to their varying needs.
At the Jamaica Association for the Deaf, one of the things that's very critical to us is education our children. We are an 80-year-old organization now, and we manage 7 schools and units across 4 parishes. So we have the Liston Gilby High School for the Deaf in Papine and the Danny Williams Primary School for the Deaf in Papine. We also have the JD Preschool, which is where our little ones, we would love for them to start. That's where the language acquisition can be very strong because it is preschool and the child is like a sponge. Attached to our Danny Williams Primary School is a unit at the Excelsior Primary School, which is our EXED unit. Attached to the Liston Gilby High School is a unit in Port Antonio, or Port Antonio unit, and a unit in Maypen in Woodside. And then we have St. Christopher's School for the Deaf, or boarding facility at a primary level. As JAD schools, we have been running a project with the support of the USAID, and we've acknowledged that across the system, we currently have approximately 400 students in school. So we're looking at 400 students currently in school, but some estimates have now given reason to believe that we should have at least 1,000 students across the island with hearing loss, significant enough for them to need either special education placement in a school for the deaf or special education placement in a mainstream school with special accommodations. Now, those special accommodations can be a hearing aid. And under our business division, we do have a hearing assessment center, which is how we find the children to place in school. We acknowledge that there are some kids who will not need deaf education placement, but they may need to be in a smaller classroom size. And the way our education system is structured, you on average have a classroom size at the primary level with 44 students. Now, if you're a student who has hearing loss and uses a hearing aid, and you're in a classroom where there are 44 students, 1 teacher, and a blackboard dividing the room, 9 out of 10 you're not catching much in the classroom. And so the impact that has on the students is that it means that for a number of years, they are performing either at bare minimum or below bare minimum. And unfortunately, they may be just passed through the system. Schools may express to the parents, I'm sorry, we can't keep the child any longer because we recognize that there's a challenge and we recommend you do assessment. If the parent is afraid to do the assessment, they remove the child, move them to another school, and for the sake of ensuring that the schools have their numbers, the school may accept the student without even really questioning what happened at the previous school, why were you moving. So we, knowing that our school population is low, we're working to get more persons to be more aware of the fact that we do have schools for the deaf, that we do appreciate that maybe the student just needs a hearing aid, just needs preferential treatment in the classroom with a preferred seat, with more one-on-one attention, with a smaller classroom size. But our goal is ensuring that whatever the hearing loss, the child can be supported. The child can be given the education that they deserve, because we are firm believers that every child can learn and every child must learn. We are grant aided by the Ministry of Education to manage our schools, which means that our school fees and the costs aligned to sending a child to a school for the deaf is not significantly exorbitant. Most people, when they think of special education placement, they think of a private institution, and so the assumption is that it's going to be extremely expensive. For us, because we're granted by the Ministry of Education, we do teach the national standard curriculum. Our students throughout the education system, they do the same assessments that mainstream students do, and they are supported with teachers who have signing skill, as well as what we call deaf culture facilitators, who are teachers' aides, deaf adults who have strong signing capacity and are able to kind of help. So in the space where our concept is unclear, it's a tag team of teacher and DCF that help to support the student to ensure that they learn. And it's bilingual. So we're teaching English as a written language and sign language as an expressive and conversational language. We are also running a Jamaican Sign Language grammar curriculum. In the same way that as hearing persons, we learn English, because it's not assumed that you have a strong foundation in English. We are also teaching our students sign language to ensure that there is a continuance of the standardization of the language, and to also ensure that they have a strong foundation language to run on. Majority of our students are coming from hearing families, and so it's impractical to assume that a student coming into our school is going to have sign language already, which is why early identification and early intervention is important, because it means that a child coming into preschool is going to be learning sign language and English at the same pace that a student in a mainstream school is increasing their language capacity in English. Because education is our core focus, one of the things that's very critical for us is ensuring that we not only have children in school, but that we're adequately supporting them once we get them into school.
We want a productive Jamaica. We all are productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity, free a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand.
Productivity, pathway to prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labour and Social Security.
As we close today's show, we ask that you stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm. And while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via tweet at JIS News. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.